Welcome to a quick guide to diffusing from thoughts. So what is diffusing exactly? Let's start by saying what it isn't, and that is fusing. Fusing occurs when two things become one. So this means when you fuse with a thought, you temporarily become one with that thought. Fusing with a thought is called getting hooked, because when thoughts hook you, it can be hard to shake them off, like a fish hooked on a line. Tell me, have you ever got lost in a thought like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I always get things wrong, I'll never understand this, or I'll never change? I know I have at various times in my life. These thoughts pull you in and bring up your worst fears and insecurities, and the more you think about them, the longer they stick around. It doesn't matter if you think the thought is real or based on a past experience. Reliving it doesn't help you or make it go away. Imagine becoming one with a thought like, I'm not good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. What's worse is when you fuse with a thought like this, it can alter the way you behave towards yourself and others. So it's no longer just a random thought, but instead a powerful message about who you are. The truth is, everyone has unhelpful thoughts. It is what the brain does because of the way we use language and because of the different parts of our mind. Let me explain. Your mind has two parts, a part that thinks and a part that observes. The thinking mind chatters away constantly, coming up with loads of thoughts, some helpful and some not so helpful. The observing mind just notices and watches without judgment or attachment. When you use the observing part of your mind, it's easier to detach from your thoughts instead of getting fused with them. The problem is, it's often drowned out by the thinking mind and all of its thoughts. While these unhelpful thoughts are common, the problem is you can get completely lost in them and start to take them as truths. This can affect how you feel about yourself, your achievements, your relationships, and your life. So you need to stop the cycle of fusing and take a step back. So what then is defusing? Diffusing means separating or distancing yourself from your thoughts. It's learning to let thoughts come and go without getting caught up in them, and also not taking thoughts so literally. For example, if you told someone you almost died of embarrassment, is that the literal truth? What if you told someone you could eat a horse, you were so hungry? Is that the literal truth? So why then would you take the thoughts in your head literally? Fusing occurs when you take your thoughts literally and believe what they are saying, and you forget to notice that they're just thoughts and not the literal truth. When you take your thoughts literally, it makes you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible by pushing them out of your mind, distracting yourself with something else, ignoring them, or trying not to think about them. But does it work? Research actually shows that suppressing thoughts makes them worse and causes more of the problems you're trying to get rid of. A new approach to thoughts is what is necessary in order to unhook from them and have greater well-being. Besides, if these strategies worked, you would have less and less unhelpful thoughts popping up over time. But this just isn't what happens. So how do you diffuse from your thoughts? Start by observing and noticing your thoughts, and the next time you have a thought, say to yourself, I notice I'm having the thought that. Like I notice I'm having the thought I'm not good enough. I notice I'm having the thought that I'm overweight. I notice I'm having the thought that I'm not smart enough. Pause the video now and try it out. Putting the I'm noticing in front of the unhelpful thought keeps you in the noticing or observer position. And while you notice or watch a thought, you can't be caught up in it. So doing this creates distance between yourself and the thought. You can also use this for feelings. I notice I'm feeling really anxious. I notice I'm feeling really sad. Pause the video again and try this out. These simple techniques have an instant diffusing capability. It's important to remember, diffusing techniques are not meant to remove thoughts and feelings, but rather to help you detach from them and still make a forward move in your life. Forward moves are when you are still working towards a value-filled life, even when you have unhelpful thoughts, painful feelings, or difficult circumstances arising. For example, if you're having critical, unhelpful thoughts about yourself, you might find that you value chatting with a friend or going for a walk. Or if you're feeling anxious about a bad grade on an assignment, you can still decide to review the material to see where you went wrong and how you can improve for next time. Both of these options still move you closer to who you want to be and what matters to you. Part of being human means you will always have thoughts and feelings, some you like and some you don't. But if you can see them as a normal part of life and realize you can still move towards what matters to you, it will make a huge difference to your well-being. There are 6 main areas where we can spot fusion. The first is rules, which is how someone ought to feel before they take action. Rules always involve words like should, ought, right, don't, wrong, must, and can't. Ever used any of these? The next are reasons. These are the excuses we use to get out of doing something that we see as being too hard, impractical, or impossible. Maybe you have said that you are too busy, too anxious, or too stressed. Or maybe that it's too hard to change, or that you've always been like this. Sound familiar? We can also use judgments, such as I'm bad, anxiety is awful, I'm too fat, or I'm not smart. And you confuse with the past and the future by thinking of old hurts and memories, reliving past mistakes and missed opportunities, worrying about the future, and fantasizing about a better life. Worst of all, what sort of self-description might you be fusing with? None of these thoughts lead to greater well-being. The good news is, this course has been specifically designed to help you better deal with these exact thoughts and feelings. The question is, are you willing to try something different? This is the end of this presentation. Please click next to watch a short video to complete this exercise.